Hello, everybody. My name is Ana Rezende, and in this podcast, I will share my transformational journey to become a health coach. In each episode, I will address a different subject that impacts our health, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Because I've learned that being healthy means being in balance. If you would like to make amazing discoveries, improve your health, get inspired, and yet find sustainable ways to live and help the planet, tune in. You are in the right place. I'm your host, Ana Rezende, and Good is What Makes You Feel Well is Mama Terra's podcast.
Toma banho de cachoeira, abraça uma pessoa amiga, corre na chuva, escala a montanha, contempla a vista, transcende, levita.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Season 2 of Good is What Makes You Feel Well. I am beyond excited to embark on this next chapter of our journey together. In this season, we'll continue to explore the beautiful, messy, and transformative paths each of us takes in our health and wellness journeys. Through heartfelt conversations with inspiring guests, we'll dive deeper into what truly makes us feel well: body, mind, and spirit. If you have been following along, you know that the extended pause between the first and second seasons was for a good reason. I needed some extra time to focus on finishing and publishing my book, Living Your Best Life in College, which was released on February 20th. Yay! It's available on Amazon, by the way, for anyone interested. You can find the link in the show notes. Some people have been asking why I decided to focus on college students. So I thought I would share the full story behind the book in this episode. Did you know that 40% of students drop out of college every year in the US? 3 in every 10 students drop out before their sophomore year. A survey led by NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, found that 64% drop out because of mental illness. Even worse than that, according to college student mental health statistics, around 1,100 U.S. college students commit suicide every year, and 24,000 attempt to take their lives. 41% of college students have depression, and 2 to 8% are diagnosed with ADHD. My son graduated high school in 2021. He finished school with a 3.0 solid GPA. He was accepted at Kansas State. On his third month as a college freshman, he told me he was failing most of his classes. Then we've decided he should drop one class to help him with time management. So he did, and he still was not succeeding. I still remember the day he called me and said, "Mom, I'm not eating." He had a meal plan at the super nice and pricey campus restaurant just by his dorm. He said, "Mom, it's way too busy." Well, then I realized it was something more than time management. He didn't want to seek help, and it started to get worse and worse. Then I followed my intuition and went to rescue him and brought him back home. I knew it was the right thing to do, and he felt an enormous relief. But that was the saddest day of my life. Shortly thereafter, he was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and prescribed antidepressant medication. During my health coach training program, I learned that those kids, like my son, are getting sick because they are living an unhealthy lifestyle. Then I thought, I sure can help them. There are ways to guide and support them to live a healthy life, to get out of the depression state or to prevent it from happening in the first place. So I did. I wrote this book, with all the recommendations from experts in all the medical fields on how to prevent depression and anxiety and how to live a well-lived life. But there is more to this. But to tell you everything, I'll have to go way back. In 2016, my dear cousin Aline was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Our dads were brothers and very close. We grew up together. Every Sunday, we gathered at Grandma's house, went on vacation together, and I spent a lot of time at her house throughout my childhood and teenage years. Aline moved to the US in her early 30s, and in her later years, immersed herself in everything holistic and studied nutrition, yoga, herbalism, breathwork, and energy healing. Given her background, it's no surprise that she chose not to undergo chemotherapy when she was first diagnosed. In her search for a natural way to heal, she found a naturopathic doctor who recommended sound healing. Although she was excited to try it, she needed an expensive piece of equipment she couldn't afford. So she launched a GoFundMe campaign on Facebook. I was one of the many who helped fund it, and she was able to start her treatment. At the time, I was living in Kansas and had the chance to visit her a couple of times while she was sick. During one of those visits, Aline gifted me a homemade tea blend called Life Force with 20 different herbs and spices. She packed the tea in 36 bags inside a wooden tea box, decorated thoughtfully with hand-picked magazine pictures. Inside, she included a garland with handwritten cards detailing the ingredients and their health benefits. On the back cover, there were two beautiful quotes from Albert Einstein and Pierre Teilhard de Chardin about healing. It was such a thoughtful gift. Unfortunately, by the time Aline was diagnosed, her cancer had reached stage 4. For those who don't know, ovarian cancer is often called a silent cancer or a silent killer because its symptoms are common to many other illnesses, making it very hard to diagnose. Sadly, sound therapy alone wasn't enough to heal her at that very advanced stage, and she started chemotherapy soon after. Anyone who knew Aline will tell how much she appreciated life. She was a free spirit, always full of energy, joy, and laughter. She fought bravely for 3 years, but on May 19, 2019, she passed away. Life moved on despite our grief, and in 2021, my husband received a job offer in Tennessee. At the time, I had been working for a multinational packaging company in Hutchinson, Kansas, as a continuous improvement engineer for 5 years. So I needed to find a new job in Tennessee. In the first few months of 2022, I applied to several positions, but nothing seemed to work. Then one day, a former coworker, also frustrated by my unsuccessful job search, suggested, "Why don't you try health coaching?" I'd never heard of health coaching before. But the next day, a quiz popped up on my Facebook feed asking, "Is health coaching right for you?" Take the quiz to find out. Curious, I took the quiz, and 2 days later, I received an email from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition with a full curriculum for their health coach training program. As I read through the curriculum, I couldn't believe. Each subject seemed tailor-made for me. I felt a strong gut instinct to enroll in the program. After talking to my husband and researching the credibility of the school, I registered on May 19th, 2022 for the accelerated health coaching class starting in July. Later that day, my daughter came back home from a soccer game. They had won 3-0 against a tough opponent. And during the bus ride, one of her teammates mentioned that it was her third baptism anniversary. Another teammate also celebrated a third anniversary, and soon after, someone else brought up the angel number 333. I hadn't known anything about angel numbers, but I learned that 333 represents growth and expansion. It signifies that something is about to click into place and you are going to be telling a different story soon. Well, that same day, I received a message saying it was the third anniversary of Aline's death. That very moment, I felt like a sign from her guiding me toward this career change. Throughout my entire training, I always felt Aline's presence. I even started drinking her life force tea again, feeling a deep connection with her. Near the end of my course, as I worked on my business plan, I had many insights about my business name, logo, and program ideas. I followed my intuition, and one morning I woke up with a clear image of my logo, a round stamp with a mountain in the shape of an M and a tree shaped like a T for Mama Terra. I sketched it out and sent it to the company working on my website. When they returned some options, the tree wasn't quite right. I wanted it to look like a fall tree with few leaves. That night, I slept on it, and the next morning, while walking past my tea box, I saw the exact tree I'd envisioned. It was the same tree Aline had used in her tea box decoration. That was the second sign that she had been guiding me all along. In March 2023, I officially founded Mama Terra. I had already begun building my community through weekly newsletters and blogs, and I started creating programs, including one for college students. The idea came from my son's difficult experience in college, where he struggled with depression and eventually withdrew. I thought group coaching focused on nutrition and lifestyle medicine for freshmen would be a great way to help. As I continued writing for my blog post and newsletter, I realized that I truly enjoyed it, and it had been incredibly healing for me. Soon, I had the idea of writing a book. One day, while talking to my daughter, she mentioned how concerned she and her friends were about gaining weight in college. That's when I first heard of the Freshman 15. I offered to write a recipe journal for her to take to college so she could cook, and she loved the idea, saying, and I think all my friends will love that too. That was when I fully embraced the idea of writing a book for college students, based on what I had envisioned for my program. The title came to me soon after, and I began working on the content. Once I finished the first draft, I received a message from Aline's sister, who sent me a picture of a journal Aline had left for her son. In it, Aline had written everything she wanted to teach him, including a page on breathwork for stress relief and the importance of believing in yourself, being authentic, and avoiding grudges. That was when I had my final realization. Aline had been guiding me to write this book not only for my own kids, but also for her son, who will soon be 17 and heading off to college. Every time I tell this story, I get goosebumps. Aline has truly been my guiding angel. Now that the book is published, it will soon be in Branson's hands. I wanted to share the whole story with you so you could understand the timing. My daughter will be graduating next month, and she'll be taking the book with her, filled with the guidance I wish I had when I was 18. The guidance that could have helped my son avoid depression, and the guidance Aline would have wanted for her son. I feel incredibly accomplished to have followed my intuition. Yeah, this story just is a mix of emotions for me. But now you know the whole story. Thank you guys so much for being part of this community and for supporting the show as we grow. I have an amazing lineup of guests for season 2, and I hope each conversation brings something meaningful to you. Here's to embracing every step of the journey, learning together and discovering what good truly feels like. Let's make this season another beautiful chapter in our wellness story. Thank you for being here. If you have been listening and enjoying the show, please go to Apple Podcast, rate and review. That is the only way you can help the show. Your support means the world to me. First episode of season 2 drops on April 19th. Stay tuned.
Thank you guys so much for listening. It means a lot to me that you chose to be here. To help Mama Terra's mission of making the world a disease-free place for generations to come, you can follow the show, write a review, or talk to your friends about it. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. Every week, I craft good health and wellness tips, recipes, and book recommendations with love and care, just for you. My intention is to give you information and resources to help you make good choices and feel well. Find the link to subscribe in the show notes. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you again for being here. We have lots of new episodes coming up, so stay tuned. And remember, good is what makes you feel well.
Toma banho de cachoeira, abraço uma pessoa